I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make a man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put a dollar to my name like Creflo. Naja boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. And I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Ooh, that soldier in the mirror, oh oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know, breaking status quo, reaping what I sow, artistry like Van Gogh. Get it from my mama, hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality, spicy body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu, since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture, then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace my headphones. See, I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, say where. I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing. You need endurance to go in, I got mileage on this pen. I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Ooh, that soldier in the mirror, oh oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. Turn all of my
Auckland.
you guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Aslı.
Chloe, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Judgment, Aslı.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, father. I love it when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see all of you guys today. I'm finally got my set lit up for the first time here and festive for the holiday. So it's so good to see you guys. And I see a lot of people in chat tonight. Babs, thanks for being here. Also, I want to send a shout out to Mini Panthers. Thank you for being here, Mini Panthers, and I hope you feel better soon. I know it's that time of the year, guys, and I know there's a lot of, surgeries going on. Hey, Brenda, thank you. Kathy and Leslie, Chuchi, thanks, guys. Lori, Kiki, thank you. Mark Klein, I saw the green hearts from Mark. Good to see you guys. Hey, Tranquility, good to have you. And I know that Mama Rissa had a heart surgery that was scheduled for today. So I believe it was this morning. I have not heard an update, but as soon as I do get one, hey Shadow, hey Detroit Rock City and Valley Gal, good to see you. I will give you guys an update, or I will post it to my community wall. So today we're going to make some ribbons. I have ribbon. That's why I'm on camera. And I'm also wearing my Team Aaliyah t-shirt. That's for my friend's granddaughter who has leukemia. And I also know that we need to say prayers for middle E as well. So I don't know, guys, I cut this while I don't know if that's going to be sufficient. I think I might need it to be a little bit bigger. I don't know. What do we think? Lori, good to see you. Thank you for being here, Lori, and thank you for wondering about Mama Marissa too. And hey, Holly, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Shadow. Thanks for the green hearts. So today was a good day, guys. Today was a very good day. And I have a little bit to share. I can't let everything out of the bag just yet, but I want you guys to stay tuned to our Pig Fest trip, right, that I'm going on. And hey, Leslie, Lady Freedom, I lost my 15-year-old kitty this morning. Oh no, I may not stay long. Leslie, I am so very sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness. Oh geez, our pets are like our family. And our best friends, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that, Leslie. You stay as long as you want. And if you want to hang out with us and just listen, I'm glad to have you here. I am so sorry. My goodness. So if you're coming back through on Saturday or Sunday, stay over and go to the church with me at 15 miles from I-75 near Osola. Okay, Mini Panthers. Let me know. I am actually going to be trying to drive back probably Sunday sometime. And it's not as far as I thought it was originally. So we'll see. And then, bathroom and coffee breaks too. So I'm going to leave out tomorrow night. I don't want to get hit by any traffic. So I like to drive at night. And I know that's weird. Probably for some people are like, why you want to drive at night like a vampire? But I do. I just prefer to drive at night. Especially with the trip that I have planned and stuff like that. So, thanks, Kiki. And also, I saw Jen in here too. Jen says I won't be able to stay it long. Have to lay down. Yes, thank you, Jen. Thank you for having us in your earbud while you're sleeping. And Jen's just been such a great part of planning the trip and everything too. I appreciate Jen so much. We've been really working hard behind the scenes. And I'll tell you, hey Andrea, good to see you. And I'll tell you, the power of prayers, thanks Andrea. I didn't even know I clicked on that until I just saw prayers are so powerful, right? And it's something that we can all do together, like no matter how far away we are, we can always have that and rely on that too. And so I think that's a really good thing, especially in times like these, right? I do think one thing that I wanted to share tonight is that I think sometimes we get so passionate about these cases and about these kids, right? Or maybe it's a person that's a little bit older, like Devlin Tate. He really stole my heart. He really did. He's 19 years old. He turned 19, but he went missing when he was 18. And I've been working with his mom, Jessica. And, it's like just when you think that you know the whole story, things aren't always as they appear, right? Sometimes you get the gut instincts within the stories and you're like, oh, that's not a good thing. Or, okay, that's all right. But, let's get on to the next point, right? Because a lot of the dynamics that we see in these cases aren't always going to be where everything's hunky-dory in the household, right? We have certain cases like that where a child is abducted, which would a good example of that would be Elizabeth Smart, right? She was abducted out of her home. That weird guy took her into the woods with his wife, and all of that horrible stuff. And sorry guys, my air kicked on. It's pretty hot today in Florida. But you know, when it's a parent that's involved, and in my opinion, in my very humble opinion, that is, I'm just a YouTube creator that enjoys true crime. I believe that Katie holds the key. I do. And I think that Chris has guilty knowledge, right? I think that Chris is, like a comfort for Katie, like a blanket, right? Like, you're not going to see her going anywhere. She's kind of like Linus, right? And Chris is the blanket that's being dragged on the floor. That's terrible. But you know what I'm saying? And I look at it like that because I think that he's been, kind of like a cloak of protection for her, and she doesn't feel comfortable answering any questions on her own. As a matter of fact, we've only watched 2 interviews where Katie has been alone, right, on the interview. One was at the very beginning, back in, I believe it was like April. I'd have to look because I'm using my camera. I like my phone camera better. So I'm pulling double duty here. But hey, Rob Beanie, I see you dabbing in the chat. But that part of it is tough, right? Like Jen's saying, she was last seen with her son. She was the last one that when we watched Sebastian get into the Texas Roadhouse, footage, when we watched Sebastian get into her vehicle and they back away, I just, like, it breaks my heart to think what happened next, right? It's sad. It's really, really sad because that's the last time we see him. Hey, Carrie Joe, thanks for being here. And I think that there was a lot of turmoil, right, in the house, and I think that caused, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, they don't understand that they're the problem, right? They are mentally ill, right? They have a personality disorder. Something's wrong there. Most insecure person you'd ever want to meet. Most broken person you'd ever want to meet. Deep down inside, they have that persona and that facade. And you see the mask slip off. They can be extremely charming, manipulative, right? In my opinion, we see all of these dynamics within Chris and a lot of them within Katie, but I think she's a little bit different. I don't know about her specifically because we've been able to really look at Chris in a more genuine form. Even though he tries to hide a lot of it, we can see the mask drop with Chris, in my opinion, right? He's pretty transparent, even though he thinks he's fooling everyone. He's really not, right? And I think that caused everyone to start blaming Sebastian. Blame Sebastian. It's his fault. I mean, our marriage is not great. It's, blame Sebastian, right? Katie didn't even answer first when she was asked if her son was a burden in her marriage. Chris was the one that said no first. Then Katie did. And it was a very muffled, low, no at that, because I had to take and turn up the volume like 3 times, save it and then turn up the volume again and save it again because it was so low and muffled. That should have been an automatic, and no one answered for a little bit on that one. So those are the things that we talk about here and we look at, right? And the question still remains, what happened to Sebastian? How did he get out of the house? Did he make it home? And so we've been talking a lot about that. And I think at this point, with it being almost 2 years, it's frustrating for everyone involved. And so I think sometimes it's important to take a step back and understand that everyone's frustrated. We're all tired. We've all fought really, really hard, right? And we're still fighting. But we also have to remember that there's more ways of doing things other than just being oppositional. Um, Sometimes you do catch more flies with honey than vinegar, right? Some flies might like vinegar. I don't know. Sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil though too. So the correct amount of pressure, doing things the right way, um, raising awareness is never a bad thing in my opinion. I think it's always good. Now I have seen a lot in Chris and Katie's stories how they've changed. Um, I mean, umpteenth times. Even when it comes down to when we reviewed Nerdy Addicts 2 lives, um, you know, it was interesting because it was hard to tell who was talking, but it was really, he was relaying over information that Chris was giving, but he was pretty spot on with it, in my opinion. I don't know, I wasn't there. But when you were looking at the text messages versus what Nerdy was reporting on to begin with, they're pretty much identical. I mean, it's not like any major details are missing. It's not like Nerdy embellished anything, in my opinion, right? And so I think that, um, there's a lot to be said there, in that regard, and then also paying close attention to what Chris is telling this other person. Um, and it's in my opinion, it totally backfired, Lori. Exactly, it totally backfired. And in my opinion, you know, Chris is always trying to stir things up. I mean, he's the king of trolling the YouTube streets, right? Um, so he loves doing it. He loves to. Sorry, I meant to put that one up. He loves to troll through YouTube, and not spend his time searching for Sebastian, not spend his time wisely putting together search parties, or even doing like a day where they pass flyers out. I mean, we don't see that. We just see him coming up onto panels and acting a fool, and I mean, that's fine, that's his prerogative. I'm not here to tell him, advise him of anything. But I do think that it's definitely odd. And, I mean, my big head's in the way, but it says, is any of this normal to you? And I mean, I'm really asking for people to tell me if this is normal, right? We have a father out there, um, asking for answers, right? Frustrated, which anybody would be, right? If it was our kid, we'd be worried, we'd be frustrated. We'd say, "Are you doing everything? Are you?" Um, I mean, for crying out loud, are you being honest with me? I mean, it would just be so devastating, and I can't imagine what kind of nut these people would probably think I am if it was my daughter. Because I love her dearly. I love her absolutely beyond any other person or anybody else in this world. So it's tough, right, to even imagine that. Um, I don't know that I would be that strong. I mean, I tell that to Devlin's mom. I tell her, keep doing what you're doing, keep staying strong. I don't know if I could be as strong as you. And she says, well, I don't feel strong. And I said, but you are, because you're still here. You keep going, right? But it's very difficult when you have all of this other crap from the other side of things, right? And the other side of things is that Sebastian had 2 households. Undeniable, right? None of us can argue that. Sebastian had 2 households. It was one way at one house, it was another way at the other house. And when that happens, it's a little bit of a so dynamic, right? Because the child's confused, going back and forth, having different rules. It can be really, I'm sure, I don't know, because my parents were married and stuff. I don't know what it's like. But I know what it's like to be a co-parent. Divorce is hard on everyone. It's, a broken family for a reason. Um, And so we already have that rough dynamic, but then you have one father advocating another father, making fun of that father. Um, Folks, I'm here to tell you, you tell that story to anybody, they're going to say, "What in the world?" It's only on YouTube that it's accepted. It's acceptable only on YouTube. It's not acceptable anywhere else. If somebody went to the grocery store and treated somebody like that, and you were standing in line and you saw it, I mean, most of us would say something like, "Hey, that wasn't very nice," or, or you'd be extra nice to the cashier because they just got, they were in a position where they had to take it because it's their job. Right. But I mean, in the real world, people don't act like that to each other unless, they're a bunch of lunatics acting a fool, which we see that in life. But like I said, just not to the degree that we see it on the internet, because it's cowardly. It's the cowardly way to do things. And so, I myself, when I heard about Sebastian not being able to be a part of Pigfest, I thought, well, let's go there and wear Sebastian on our shirts, because we have constitutional rights here and we can do that, right? And so I started getting emotional, right? And it's funny because, Susan Constantine talked about that on the panel the other night. She says, when you put, when you're putting everything in, or you're emotionally invested in something, you're going to create a bias, right? And a lot of people are, oh yeah, well, whatever. But there is. We obviously have a bias. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such a divide, right? There's people that are biased towards Chris and Katie, and there's people that are biased towards Seth, right? And that's human nature. That's going to happen. But we also have to remember that there's a certain amount of decorum that we have to uphold. There's morals, there's values. And when you can just come on the internet and go into someone's chat and say, "Oh, well, blah blah blah," and act like the biggest butthole that you ever existed, that's very, very easy, right? It's like, or you do it on your phone, right? Maybe even easier than typing it out. I don't know why I always do that, but typing. But what really takes guts is to go and do something for good, right? Instead of doing it for bad. It's really easy to do the bad thing, the funny thing, it's really, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. If I see fuckery in a chat, I start, with my clicking too. I do too, right? Because I think at this point we're all sick and tired of it on either side. On either side of it. And I think we have to remember that, oh, that was my change for my laundry. Sorry, guys. I think that we all have to remember that at the end of the day, none of us, I didn't hurt Sebastian, you didn't hurt Sebastian, Chuchi didn't hurt Sebastian, Forget Me Not, good to see you. I know you didn't hurt Sebastian. Hey, Christy, I know you didn't hurt Sebastian. For sure, Rob Beanie didn't hurt Sebastian. So why am I going to be angry with all of those people? Right? Yeah, sure. I'll banter back and forth. I'll debate in a chat. But the level of hatred really needs to come down on both sides. On both sides. And it needs to be something where we can come together. Look, you have a sponsorship. I hope that you spend that sponsorship wisely. I really do. I hope that it benefits the children, which we know it is. And I had a phone call today, and I was assured that that's the case, right? And that's the big news here, is that even though there's going to be a lot of people running their mouths and talking shit and, going back and forth and ha ha ha, the green team's stupid, don't buy it. Don't buy into it. Don't go over there and fight with anybody, please. Because at the end of the day, what they're putting out there and what they're saying is not exactly true at all. at all. And you guys will find out. Just please trust me with this. It's not what it appears to be. And it never really was. It's just that there's so many emotions and so many people that are legitimately, in my opinion, causing trouble. Right? And we know who the troublemakers are. I mean, it's just like back in high school when, you knew who the bullies of the school were, right? And you just avoided them. You walked down a different hall. You might shun them or whatever. I don't know. But you just don't deal with them, right? You don't associate with them. They're not worth your time. And I think that's a major problem in our community, is because we are checking to see what they're doing, because they are very strange, and a lot of the things they do is for shock value, but also because morally speaking they're not good people, right? um and we went over that extensively yesterday, so I really don't feel like we have to keep going over it. But I do want you guys to just remember that, yeah. And it's like, it's crazy, Holly S, because I hope that you guys just use that sponsorship wisely. You know what I mean? And I want Sebastian's army to show up and go in there with our heads held high and knowing that we're doing the right thing and have a good time, right? Watch the little kids go jumping in the little bounce house. That's always cute. You know what I mean? Like, get your barbecue. Have a beer if you like beer. I don't know if they have wine there. I don't know. If you guys like that, do it. Drive safely. Have a designated driver. But the point is that neither one of us really has to deal with each other unless we make that happen, right? And if you do encounter somebody, is it going to kill you to smile at them and say hello? Is it going to kill you to be nice to somebody to their face that maybe you wouldn't normally do that with online, because you want the recognition and attention for and the reputation of being a jerk? And that's who you are online, and that's what you like to be. That's cool. But maybe in person for one day, we can just all get along. Or what is it, 3 days? Get along. You see somebody else, say hello to them. It's not going to kill you. It's not. The hatred needs to stop. It's ridiculous. We're adults. Are we, or no? We're not adults? So I think we are. And Holly says, I'm sure they'll have everything. Oh my goodness. And I mean, I hope people have a blast. And I don't think that events like this is only for people to get drunk. I know I heard that. That's another thing that's like that they want to push on. Oh yeah, everybody's going to be so trashed. Well, good for them. I hope they're not driving. But at the end of the day, it's an adult, it's family oriented, but there's also, beer tents and stuff like that, as far as I know. I'm just remembering back to like Rockin' Ribs. And we used to have Rockin' Ribs they have it in Springfield, Missouri. And it's a bunch of bands, like it's cover bands. They have a whole like um hair band that's like a cover band. They're very well known there. And they play at a lot of different venues, and that's one of them. Machine Gun Symphony is their name, and I've seen them a billion times. They're really good. And I knew a lot of the local bands there. So with that being said, I hope people have a good time. I hope people remember that is a day for Mr. Gilly, right? He created it, and we went over that last night, and I do have to apologize because I got it wrong too. So the fact of the matter is this was created for kids, right? So why would an event for kids say that Sebastian couldn't be there? And that was our question, right? That's what we were upset about. That's what our panties were in a twist over, right? But come to find out, that's not the case at all. And I just have to say, I don't say this a lot, but just trust me when I say this, because it's not like they're making it out to be. Right. They're sitting back, ha ha ha, this is so funny. And it's great. We love they're like real life trolls, right? It's like two trolls started a YouTube channel, right? And then they have all the other little trolls out there too. Um, but let them say whatever they want. They're just trying to get people riled up. That they're about hate. And I don't want to be about hate. I'm not about hate. I can't I literally don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. If I don't like someone, I just won't talk to them. You know what I mean? I won't go over and associate. So it's just, remembering that even though there may be a lot going back and forth online, I highly doubt that they're going to act that way when they're there. If they do, then let them make it for content. My content is going to be showing you guys the pig fest. I want to show you guys the awareness. I think that is going to be very uplifting. I know you guys will like that. I also, while I'm there, want to stop over by the Texas Roadhouse, look at everything around the area, take it in for myself, show you guys how it is, right? I want to go look at the Fairfield, see how many cameras are in the back. And granted, it's 2 years later, but I just kind of want to look around the area. I think that's more valuable during my trip than to try to seek out any type of internet beef that I don't care about, right? Because I don't care. That's not what excites me. What excites me is meeting people who have been working so hard for Sebastian, meeting people who just want him to be found, right? And I mean, if we all get together, I think we're all better together, right? It's strength in numbers. So I think that doing that is a good thing. I just am urging everybody that goes there to just please hold your head up high, smile at people, be kind to people, right? And just show them who we are. They're going to show their own asses, trust me. But just keep on being yourselves, the nice people that you guys are here, and don't bring hate, to the festival, because there's no reason for it, right? And then there's little kids there too, and they don't need that. And I'm here to tell you, a lot of these people probably have no idea about Sebastian and what's so valuable about passing out flyers, about wearing a t-shirt with Sebastian. I mean, this is my Aaliyah t-shirt. And but wearing this stuff, people might ask you about it, especially the beautiful shirts that Seth had put together, the hoodies. When they see that, and I'm walking down the row getting some barbecue, I don't know, they're gonna see that on the back of my hoodie, right? They'll see that on the back of my t-shirt, and Sebastian will be seen by everybody. And that is the only goal that I have. I mean, other than meeting people and showing support to Seth, right? And I think that there's a lot of back and forth. Oh, well, you support Seth, and you support this person, you support that person. So what? I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. I could still be polite to somebody that supports Chris and Katie. I mean, do I agree with them? No. If they're going to try to debate me, then we're going to have a conversation. But I'm not going to try to be rude to people. No. Especially not at an event like this. For charity, a charity event, you're going to act like an asshole? You can. That's not something I'm going to do. No. I don't know, Andrea. But here's the thing. They have every right to go there, too. I mean, if they did, I mean, I was prepared for them to go, because I think, they wouldn't have had a sponsor. I don't think their family would sponsor it if they weren't planning on attending. But in the same way, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would imagine so. And I don't really even care about what their plans are. You know what I mean? I was just glad somebody had sent me something where Clue said that she'd be in the VIP tent, and I'm like, oh, thank God. You know, I was like, that's good that they have a VIP tent. Just stay over there. That's wonderful. At least I know where not to go. Why wouldn't they be there? Made all the vigils. Oh wait, well, and that's the thing, Mark. I mean, I think that's where the frustration comes in, right? And then I did read Crabtree's post, and I found it absolutely odd that Katie said she doesn't care, quote, who gets credit for finding Sebastian as long as he's found. That's weird to me. I don't know how to take that. I'm actually still processing that because, I mean, again, that's hearsay. That's, basically Crabtree saying that Katie said this and he's telling us, right? So it's not like I don't think I've ever heard Katie say that. But the thing is they come out and they say things like that and they're not helping. That's not helping their situation. It's kind of like Carl Ferguson saying, oh, well, Seth wanted the GoFundMe 2 days. No, he didn't. If you listen to what or what Chris told Smiley, that's not what happened. He wanted the GoFundMe, and he said that the law enforcement officer said that does make people look a little guilty when it's only been 2 days. Hello, Chris, right? And maybe Craddock did tell him that. I don't know. He was the deputy back then. Maybe it was Sonny Weatherford. He's not here anymore. So may he rest in peace. So, I mean, there's no telling. There's really no telling. The only people that know are Chris and Katie, these two little piggies on the screen. We don't know. Right? But don't call me stupid because I don't know. I mean, if I had more information, I could probably definitively figure it out, right? But I just don't have enough information because it's never been true. None of it. Like, even like I said the other day, if I'm on the phone, hey Gigi, if me and Gigi are on the phone and something's happening at Gigi's house, like a thud in a bedroom, I might hear her say, oh, there was just a thud in the bedroom. Hold on. Are you okay in there, Sebastian? Yes, ma'am. Or whatever Katie said. Go. I don't care what you're doing in there. Go to bed. Or Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? We've heard all of it. So, okay. But I would be hearing that, and it would be me hearing her taking care of what was going on there if I was 3 hours away on the phone with her, is what I'm trying to say. And so in that way, Chris should be telling the story from that perspective, but he's not. He's telling it like he was there, as if he was there, right? So already that sounds like either it's manufactured, which I think it is. I think all of it's manufactured to a certain extent, especially whenever Chris acts weird like that, right? And then Katie's always looking to him when he wasn't there. Which, I mean, he probably wasn't. If I could take a wild guess, I would think that would be a big red flag to law enforcement. And maybe they're still waiting, right? Maybe they're still waiting to get that one more piece of evidence. I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. And I think we could all agree that there's been things within Sebastian's case that we've gotten wrong, or, and I don't think it's intentional. I'm not saying that. Especially from my perspective, like I said, I don't just come up here and think, oh, I can't wait to get it wrong. I mean, I don't do that. But we're bound to, especially when we have limited information. It's tough. Hey, AMC, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Lil Red. Already approved from Bo. Thank you, Bo. Aw. Yeah, we have our Leslie keeping it real today. I'm glad you're here, Leslie. So, I mean, we just really, really need to focus on everything being positive instead of the negative things. And I know that's hard. I understand, trust me, because the minute somebody would send me something, which I'm glad they do, because I have to know what people, because these people are nuts. And so I will watch it, but it puts me in a bad mood. Excuse me, it puts me in a bad mindset. Why do I want to be in a bad mindset? I don't. It's negative, right? It's like, um, you know, oh yeah, I was live when that happened to Charlie Kirk AMC. It's absolutely so sad. And my prayers and everything are with his family, and he had such cute little kids, and oh gosh. But I think he, in the spirit of Charlie Kirk, I do think, and don't get me wrong, guys, and Joe's gonna come in here and yell at me any minute now. But you know, I think he was an example to live by, even though some of the things, like I said, the one that makes me the most mad is that he says women aren't funny, and I'm like, well, look at Carol Burnett, I mean, there's a lot of funny girls out there. And so, but in the same way, the message that he um brought to the younger people, right? Like the students at the college and everything, I think is very valuable. And I enjoy watching the debates. I really do. And I understand, that they're going back and forth and everything, but when you look at something like what Charlie Kirk was able to accomplish, it's amazing, right? Because even though he didn't agree with somebody, he didn't hate them. He didn't say, "Well, I just hope that I'm gonna well, here, we'll just put it this way. I'll go ahead and go full on with it. I'm gonna torment you until you're so upset and so frazzled, that we're going back and forth, right? And we're just gonna go and just be negative, negative, negative. Why can't we just hash it out right now?" And that's what Charlie would do. He'd be like, "Okay, you feel this way. Well, this is how I feel. This is." They go back and forth in a healthy scenario. And my favorite ones are when somebody says, "Okay, hey, oh, hey Charlie, you mind if I have a hat?" Like the one guy, I think he was in maybe Chicago, that I shared, because I was like, Charlie Kirk in Chicago. And the guy at the end, he was funny. He was like, "Do you mind if I have a hat?" And he's like, "Sure." And he gives him a hat. I mean, that's that's the human way to be. That's what we were talking about last night. And again, I'm sorry that I got that part wrong, because not everything is as it seems. It's actually quite shocking when you sit back and think about how things can get so out of control, right? Um, and again, when it comes to these cases, people are very passionate about how they feel, um, and I just think that um, receipts or it doesn't matter. Oh, and I did hear that in Lolly's too, Lori, about Crabtree's statement, because I was in there briefly and listened a little bit too, before I was getting everything ready for the show. So um, we need justice for all of them. Summer Wells, guys, I see you guys with Summer in the chat. Um, you know, I was wondering about Seclusion Works too, Little Red. I'm glad you guys are asking about Seclusion. I was worried about her. Because she wasn't here last night, was she? I don't think. Um, those little pigs are so cute. Um, and like I said, it reminds me of Rockin' Ribs. I bet you it's a lot like Rockin' Ribs. I don't know what's been going on with Candace. I heard she went on a live really, really drunk one night. That's all I know. That's the last thing I heard about Candace. Is that she went, well, I found that to be very interesting too, AMC, because baby Emmanuel, so his father, his dad, Foot, we'll call him a Foot, um, he has pled guilty And Rebecca, the mother, Ola Punch, she has pled not guilty. So I hope that she doesn't get off. I mean, I think that maybe she has gotten some advocacy and maybe a lawyer, but I just don't know how you can allow for all of that to happen. She was definitely she definitely has guilty knowledge. If anything, yeah, maybe Ola punch in the face, that was Jake and he hurt her, I mean, and she because she said she wound up in the floor. Well, I mean, if you wound up on the floor, um if and you're outside, usually people don't refer to the ground outside as a floor. Usually a floor to everybody is like inside of a building or a home or whatever you're in. Um, so that was always a huge red flag to me too. I always felt like something happened to baby Emmanuel, and she could have been holding him and maybe he beat the hell out of her or something, and I can't still discount that. Sperm donor, thank you. Thank you, Cinderella. Exactly. Hot mess, Brenda. Hot mess. But I mean, I really honestly think that she went along with whatever. She might have woke up and baby Emmanuel had already been, hurt so bad. Judging from what happened to his sister, half sister, Promise. Um, you know, it's just so sad. And the saddest, I think that the saddest part with baby Emmanuel is like, I think they might have put him in the desert, and so in that case it's going to be very difficult to find him. One good thing about it, like we saw in the Travis Decker case, was when the Robini, when the animals scatter, the bones and stuff, it's a higher probability if they're scattered that they'll be found, right? So I'm praying for that. And Robini, it's so ridiculous, and it's kind of like it's like Katie's story. In my opinion, Ola Punch is like the short version of, a story that has holes in the timeline like Katie's does. Oh well, 9 o'clock bedtime, I woke him up at 6 and he wasn't there. Ola punch in the face. Same thing with Jaden Spicer, Felicia Gross's mom, right? Same thing. Oh, when he went to bed at 9, woke him up in the morning. She was, I think, 8 o'clock. Ola punch in the face, right? It's a huge lapse in time. There's no way. There is no way. And if Katie didn't tuck in Sebastian, how did she know what he was wearing before he left? Riddle me that, Batman. Maybe, the hate channels can figure that one out, Maybe Stephen Crabtree can help me out. Please, Chris Proudfoot, don't try to help me out, because you say that you're going to help us out all the time. You never do. So I don't need your help. But yeah, if you want to get one of your super sleuths on that, I'd like to know. Or maybe, maybe Katie can come out and tell us that. Justice for Jaden. And his folks are, well, not even folks. Felicia Gross is in there. The stepdad, I believe he was charged as an accessory. I don't think, I'm going to have to check on those charges to see if I can get a good update on that. But, Jaden had a beautiful service. He was put to rest, and, everybody came together for it. And that's what any child deserves. Any of them, but the fact of the matter is until we find them, we need to keep hope alive, because we don't know. The only ones that know what happened to these kids, even Jack and Lily, are their parents. I mean, we hear about this mysterious car that the neighbor said was going back and forth. And like I told you guys, when you're up on a hill you can hear what's going on down very clearly sometimes. If you listen carefully, you can kind of hear a whole conversation. Um, so there's that. And I find them to be a credible source, in my opinion. That's just, my take on things. But I could be wrong. I'm glad that people are deciding to come forward. And that's the thing that does happen with time as well. I might cut these on an angle, guys. I'm probably not going to do these when I'm on here with you guys, but I know it needs to be longer, but I was thinking I just cut that on a bias. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the ribbon. Oh, is somebody going to take somebody back? Are you guys talking about Malaya? CP said he saw what he wore to bed. Yeah, he did say that, Rob Beanie. He did say that. How in the heck can he? And that's the thing, like, he said he did that a couple of times. Chris has done that a couple of 2-3 times, right? Where he was just like, we all would have heard him, or, he would have woke everybody up. Like, who's everybody? I mean, unless he's counting the dogs, which, I mean, anybody could argue he would, he could have been counting the dogs. Because dogs wake up and they bark. But I need to check on that, Kiki. I do. Kiki says, when does Jaden's mom go to trial? I've been looking but can't find anything. I wonder if they've kind of closed any of it down. I don't know what type of a lawyer situation is going on with them. If they got a public defender or, because that's a big difference, right? That's a big difference. And money makes the difference. It really does, because you can get yourself a good defense. And I think that's another reason why, Sebastian's case is taken as long as it is because they have to be able to prove it to a jury, right? Beyond a reasonable doubt. They have to make sure all their ducks are in a row. You only get one bite at the apple, no double jeopardy, right? And I know it's something that I've said before. It's just, we just like a little piggy, Brenda. How long ago was Jaden Spicer found? Let's see. It didn't take long. With Jaden Spicer, his mom wrote the letter. I don't think I still have it. But I will always remember that letter that she wrote, and then I'll always remember comparing it to Katie's statements. Because it was like this, it was like, please come forward, and, that sort of thing, the please. And, yeah, it's just interesting how her letter was saying, please bring him back, we love him, things like that. But in the same way, she had guilty knowledge the whole time she was guilty, right? Because Joshua Gross, he was only like I said, basically an accomplice to everything, or an accessory to all of it. And I don't know exactly how the Commonwealth in Kentucky classified that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it didn't take long. Jaden was only missing for like, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks before she finally, and that's the thing about it too, the public pressure, right? The public pressure, there's a good amount to put on. And when she went to McDonald's, and I'm talking about Felicia Spicer, and there were search crews out looking for Jaden, the people at McDonald's were not too thrilled with her, and they're like, "Why aren't you looking for your son? You know, everybody else is out there." And I mean, it was hot. It was, out there. They were having to look all around the wooded areas and stuff, and they lived like the second house at the end of the holler. So, I mean, they were way out there. Hey, Kathy Bartholomew, good to see you. Hey, Sharon, thanks for being here. So yeah, Little Red, I can't remember exactly when. And I've done videos. I need to put him into a playlist. You know, I do not know who their lawyers are, Valley Gal. I just know that they've said that they have them. Um, which, I would too. Oh, I know. I know. What's so sad is Jaden has slipped my mind. Oh, I know, Holly. I know. And it's just because, I think a lot of it has to do with the closure, that we got from, like, because he got a Spider-Man casket, and I know that's not a consolation. Um I know it's not. I mean, that poor little boy, only 9 years old, he had his whole life to live. We don't know. Um even like you were saying too, Holly, like, I mean, he could have cured cancer. He could have done all kinds of wonderful things, and here he's not with us anymore. Um, and his life was cut short. Um, and I think there was a lot of people that had failed Jaden, and hopefully they recognize that. Because I don't want to go after anybody, but yeah, it's gonna take a little while. It is, Little Red. And I mean, there was a um confession, right? She basically confessed, showed them where she put Jaden, in the shallow grave. And thinking about that, I think we might think about how Katie would have proceeded. And I don't like to do that either, but I think that some of the theories, once I'm there, um I hopefully can rule some things out, right? And so that's another main goal for me, is to be like seeing the area and understanding it better, and maybe I can make a better judgment call on what could have happened that night too, because it's difficult to see it on the map. Um I agree with that, Carrie Jackson. Most of these missing kids have been failed for by the adults around them. Yeah, because if you think about it, like, and I always use this case as an analogy, but like Stevie Stainer is another little boy that was truly abducted, right? Kenneth Parnell took him, and he was walking home from school, and he said, something about, hey, I'll give you a ride home, that sort of thing. And then little Steven got in the car, and this guy was, a full on pedo. I mean, like, he hurt a lot of kids. He got away with what he did to Stevie Stainer, and then he reoffended, of course. Um, you know, save a lot of tax dollars if we never mind. So anyway, um, he truly was abducted, right? And so in those cases, it's like the parents um shouldn't be ridiculed, because I mean, poor little buddy, he was walking home from school, and this guy just snatches him up, lures him in. But when it comes to people that do have guilty knowledge, I don't think it's a bad thing to get public pressure, because it just comes along with the territory of see something, say something. And I mean, yeah, we could all mind our business and go about our day, but in the same way, if we know something is wrong and somebody's doing something that's really wrong, um, call somebody a Karen, but so be it. At least, um, a little kid might be safe, or something bad might not happen. We can't prevent everything, but, um, hey, Nisa Marie, good to see you. Hey, KJ Mac. What did KJ Mac say? These poor little peanuts, heartbreaking. Oh, I know what their own father did. Oh, my goodness. And that's the thing. I mean, we can't just count that because statistically, I mean, what happens, right? I mean, Babs, absolutely. Steven Stainer, that case was absolutely heartbreaking. Like I said, I just watched the documentary. His mother came out and talked about it because, I mean, his brother Carrie, and we did it for a murder mystery. I kind of threw it in kind of as a little bit of a twist in there. Um, but yeah, he ended up being a serial killer, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't get enough attention." And it's like, "What are you talking about, you crazy SOB?" Like, but yeah, yeah, and poor Devlin. And and that's the thing, I've been talking with Jessica too. I'm like, keep the hope up. You have to. Um, I know that she got a reading and it was, hard for her. Um, I just can't imagine. Thank you. Thanks, Tranquility Soul, for being here. I appreciate you. Aw, thanks, Andrea. It's not just stranger danger anymore, right, Babs? Or like, the guy in the van or something. Like when we were kids, it was like you see a white van, you're like, oh boy, that guy's a weirdo, and it's like a maintenance person. My friend has a van like that, so it makes me laugh because he's like the nicest guy. But it isn't. It's mommy and daddy danger to children. It's like mommy and daddy dearest, right? And step feet, and our new coined term for bad stepdads, because it's always the fairy tales. You got the evil stepmother. Well, you also got step feet out there. Um, Butter Biscuit, good to see you. I wish you could go to the area Green Hoodie was walking from across the parking lot to see if any place would have had a bathroom for her to be. Well, and that's a good that's a good question too, Butter Biscuit. And I do want to look at like the proximity. Now, I will say that Green Hoodie wasn't the only one that was coming from the bushes. Like, and it's weird because we say bushes here, like, right, if we're not chatting and we're just listening, we're in the bushes, so to speak. Hey Claudia, good to see you. But like there were people that were coming from that other side of the parking lot. I also want to see, because we have a Texas Roadhouse not far from here. I mean, I could probably walk over there. It's that close. Um, and it's packed all the time. Like, I've never driven past a Texas Roadhouse that wasn't packed all the time, right? And if you don't get there, like, right at a certain time, right, you're gonna wait. You probably have to do, now I know they have, like, the, um, virtual reservation things, because we were wondering about that, because they don't have the buzzers there, that they give you, or the beeper pager things that light up. They don't do that there. So you can go ahead and save your table and make reservations straight through the app. So um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. And then even so, we were talking about, because I wanna also look at the machine, right? That little machine that's on the table, and see how that all works. Another thing that Kiki 2025 True Crime brought up as well is that when you're at the Texas Roadhouse, they're able to use your data. So, like, say Andrea and I went out and, we're sitting at the Texas Roadhouse. We order our appetizer, whatever, our drinks, we're talking. Um, and if we're on our phone and we don't disable them using our personal data, then it's free. They're allowed to do it. It's like within their little disclaimer thing. It's very interesting. And like I said, Kiki 2025 True Crime um, first brought it up and was talking about it. It's very interesting again because you're sitting at the restaurant and all of your data from your phone is being taken, right? And the reason they do that is for marketing, right? They want to know what people's likes are. They want to like kind of peep our information and see what we enjoy and what we like in order for them to market certain things to us directly. And so it's something that you kind of have to turn off before you go in. Um, Devlin's story is so sad, Kelly. Thanks for being here. It is sad, and Devlin being a little bit older, but my biggest thing is that he also has the rare chromosome deletion, and he also has autism, which he's not exactly as old as a 19-year-old, like as equipped as a 19-year-old would be. Most most 18 and 19-year-olds aren't very equipped, right? I know I wasn't. We think we know everything. We're a big adult, but we're really not. We have a lot to learn. I'm, in my early 40s. I have a shit ton to learn. Learn something new every day, hopefully more than one thing new. So Andrea says if you see a white van, just run. Yep, yep. Oh my gosh, the kidnapper van, fear for, fear for the good old days. Well, and then we had that one guy that was dressing like Homie the Clown, and that was really scary. I saw I was going through my socks because I don't wear socks anymore, but I have to wear socks now. And so for the Pig Fest, I was looking for my socks, and I'm like, okay, I got and Miss Ann. If you're in the bushes, I got my Grateful Dead socks. I found them. But I have a whole bunch of pairs of those. Well, one of my friends from back in Missouri had given me a pair of Pennywise socks, and I found them today, and I was like, oh, how cool, because he's on there, and they say like we all float or whatever on the back, because she knows that I like Stephen King. But I found those today, and I was like, yay. And so yeah. it, it reminded me of that KJ Mack. The good old days. It is sick, Lori. I agree. Chris might be the winner of the race. Oh no, Nisi Marie. That's funny. I know, and I just had to put those little pigs back there because they're so cute. They're adorable. I have a cousin who went missing in the 70s. Oh my goodness, Claudia. And was kidnapped, and the man would send his parents items. Oh my goodness, of his throughout the years. He was found last year. Oh, thank God. Both parents had passed. Oh my goodness. They wrote a book. Wow. That is really interesting, Claudia. Thank you for sharing that. My goodness, how sad. People were really kidnapping kids a lot, and now it's like they do it now, but it's on a larger scale, like trafficking more so. It's weird how it's evolved, right? Very, very strange. And it's strange how these kids, I mean, oh gosh, it's sad. It is so sad. So thank you for sharing that, Claudia. Um, and we were talking about Chris in the Pig Fest shirt because I know people were like, well, why are you guys going to the Pig Fest just because he wore the shirt? Well, I don't think that's what prompted it. I think people are looking for clues everywhere. And when we see him do stuff like that, it is a taunt. It's a taunt, and I'm not going to say it's not because I've watched them do it, before. Maybe this time it wasn't. Maybe. But, you know. That's right, Tranquility. She says, I'm a tough girl. I got every health issue you can think of. To my eyes, tummy, hands, feet, all over. Oh, my lungs are shutting down and 3 life support machines and a power wheelchair. Aw, Tranquility. So I'm glad you're here. And you are tough. Man, we have a lot of tough women in this true crime community as a whole. I mean, that's across the board. We've all experienced the trauma, I think, and I think that um it just hits us for different things. Um see, Claudia says I have the MS and fibromyalgia. Yeah. Oh my goodness. See, and you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Aw, thanks, Andrea. So, but I am excited for the pig fest, guys. More so, I was getting down myself. Um, if the white van has margaritas, I'm gone. Babs. Right? Exactly. Exactly. Um, you guys don't have oh, you are we don't have Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse is good. It is really good. I will say that I like Longhorn but better, but I do like Texas Roadhouse. I haven't been to the one over here. And mostly because I'm like always really hungry going at the last minute, and I'm like, oh, it's always packed over there. So, but I have been to Longhorn here and it was very good. Um, I know. It is devastating, Mama Bear. It is. Yeah, yeah. I know. Holly S says, Lady Freedom, I feel like it was the parents all along. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. You know. And I know it is sick. And I mean, I can't even deny it. Um I know they Seth in the group that he was searching with in the beginning searched around the homeless camps, but it doesn't mean that something wasn't overlooked, and that's what's tough here too. You know, and I always think of like where CP was wearing his Sunday best shirt, Babs. Hey Faye, good to see you. I just always think of where would they put Sebastian if they put him somewhere. So, that's kind of how I work through things and, process through them. Um, like if I'm working a certain theory or something, that comes up. Um, even with the most recent, like the Fairfield Hotel really sparked my interest because what we're trying to figure out essentially is how Sebastian got out of the house, right? Like how did he leave the house? Or how did Katie hand him off after the Texas Roadhouse? Because we know that he left the Texas Roadhouse with Katie. We know that, right? We all collectively know that. We all can see it with our brain or with our eyes, which are connected to our brains, hopefully. Um, But, Sebastian's window was not open, Andrea. Mm-mm. There's some major mistakes that Chris and Katie made. Number one, the shoes. Number two, the clothes. Because how would she know what Sebastian was wearing to bed if she didn't tuck him in? He said, good night, mama, good night, puppies. You know, if I say goodnight to somebody out in the living room and I go in my bedroom, I might get down to my skivvies and go to bed, right? It just depends. Sometimes if it's, a cooler night out, I might wear pants to bed, which I usually don't wear pants to bed. It's usually shorts because it's hard for me to sleep in. But if I'm wearing sweatpants, because I'm, whatever, going outside having a cigarette or going over here and doing this or going over here and doing that. And then, I might take my pants off and go to bed, right? I'm not trying to be a weirdo, but I'm just saying, I'll have shorts on. And if I came out here and, you know, say I said goodnight to Nate or something like that and I went to bed, how would he know what exactly I wore to bed if I went in there myself? Because I could have taken off my pants or my shirt or something, depending on if it's really, really hot or something like that, right? And so how does Katie really know? So the shoes, major mistake. They done fucked up with the shoes, guys. in my opinion. Number two, the clothes, right? Big time with the clothes. And number three, um, just in my opinion, um, I think that their stories have just been inconsistent. They can't keep them straight. And number four, the doors and the windows, they didn't leave Sebastian an out. So their story doesn't have Sebastian as having an out, right? Because if Sebastian's window was left unlocked, right? We would think, okay, he got out the window and closed it and he didn't lock it back because you can't lock the window from the outside. They screwed up. They screwed up. They didn't think their story through all the way. They just didn't. And, I can't help that. Don't be mad at me because you messed up your story. It's not easy. And another thing that's not easy is hiding a whole kid who's 5'5" and 120 pounds. Right? And Sebastian could be taller by now. Right? He could have gained weight. He could have lost weight, God heaven forbid. So thanks, Mom. And the roles are so good, C. Taylor, and it just kills me when she says he can't have another one. I'm like, would you just let him have it? Because they're like sweet. They're like the rolls that you get at Thanksgiving time, like the yeast ones that you have to let rise and stuff. They're so good. And then the butter stuff that they give you. I mean, I'm a butter person. I'm a bread and butter person, more than even like sweets. But I do too. Lori likes Longhorn better. Yeah. I wonder if Chris was the little piggy that went wee all the way home. That's funny, Butter Biscuit. Leaving tomorrow, Miss Ann. Yeah, so I won't have a long stream tonight. But I did want to get back on because I was mad as hell last night, and I shouldn't have been, but I do let my emotions get away from myself sometimes, and there's a lot of tension, and I want you guys to know that there doesn't have to be. Mommin's the best with silver linings. That's why I love Mommin. um right. And I mean, if other people try to cause crap, let them do it. They're just gonna make themselves look stupid. Me too, going in a van. Diana, good to see you, Diana. Thanks for being here. But it's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be something that makes us feel good about spreading awareness, about all of that. What it's supposed to be like. I have a feeling, um, what it was meant to be, I should say. Um, I think that's more accurate than what we're hearing. Um, and like I said, let them act however they're going to act. We can't do anything about that. You know, besides, do better than that. I don't know. But I did want to share with you guys that um, things are definitely coming right along for the trip. And Carrie, I did hear that. She says my cousin and I are planning on flying Lake Odessa soon with Devlin's posters. That's fantastic, Carrie. I also got a picture of what Tina is doing with the bracelets for Devlin, and those are just absolutely awesome. Thanks to Tina, because Tina is really showing up and showing out for Devlin's bracelets. And she's doing them as an awareness, right? She's not selling them or anything like that. She's doing that because you know she's Devlin's grandma. um so I'm really just really proud to be linked up with those two lovely ladies, Jessica and Tina. They've been on the show. And then just getting the resources out, because that's the hardest thing. Sometimes parents don't know what to do at all. I mean, they just don't know. They don't know what's out there. And, you know, again, big shout out to the United Cajun Navy because they linked Jessica up with the backwoods search and rescue. And, you know, they're planning on going out there. Now, we could you know, use all the resources that we can get in Devlin's case. We really need to get his information out there. So I'm also going to try and incorporate Devlin too, as well. You know, when I'm talking to people, just the whole 9 yards. And I understand. Um, One of my early videos, guys, and I'll have to link it in the description, or I'll just share it to my posts, if I can remember, because boy, my brain. Um, but I mean, there was a whole article about how the first Amber Alert came out and how the milk carton kids and how they came about, right? And I believe the first milk carton kid was Eaton Pate, and I'm sorry if I said his name incorrectly, but he was on there, right? And then how it kind of evolved, and yes, there are people out there that are like, that's depressing, right? I don't want to hear about a missing child while I'm eating the barbecue. Well, I mean, but a charity event like this, you kind of expect to have that sort of vibe, right? You expect the people to be wearing maybe a shirt like this or something like that's going to spread awareness. For crying out loud, we're watching pigs race and then we're putting them on a spit and eating them. You know, it's not weird or depressing to have a missing kid who really needs to be found. Hey, Kiki, good to see you, hon. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And any misconceptions out there too, guys, about them saying that we can't wear the shirts, they've never said that. They have never said that. And I tried to correct it in the chats and stuff, but no, they they can't tell us what to wear. I mean, if it's an obscenity or something, right? Like if Sebastian was flipping the bird, like I always say, my Johnny Cash t-shirt, then maybe people would be offended by that. Maybe the kid, you know, parents who have kids wouldn't want them around that, or they would be like, ooh, you know, they might not want to talk to me if I'm wearing that on my shirt, right? Because it's obscenity. Or if it was like, you know, swear words on my shirt or something inappropriate. I think that's the only time that they might ask somebody not to wear something like that, because it's a family friendly event, right? There's going to be like snow cones and food truck vendors and all kinds of stuff. They have a whole kids zone on the free day Saturday. So, I mean, I think, you know, it's not what the hate channels want us to think it is, right? It's just not. It's not, you know, I mean, yeah, there's going to be drunk people, but there's drunk people all the time. Drunk people are everywhere. It's legal to drink. It's not prohibition. You don't have to go to a speakeasy. Couponing says, my apologies for being late. Oh, Josh was on with Chris McDonough. I'll have to go check it out. I always go and watch Josh on the replay, and it's just been a long time. And I've just been so busy with Devlin's case, you know, too. Hey, little Miss Sharon, thank you. I'm back from my duties. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here, little Miss Sharon. Like I said, guys, I was going to do ribbons with you guys tonight, but it's too hard. It's too hard for me to, like, I don't know. I know I won't be focusing, or, you know, in on it, but I think I'm going to do it like this. And I, you know, it's going to be bigger, I guess, a little bit, but you know, they're cute little ribbons. That's all we wanted to do. It's just a ribbon. Just a ribbon. Nothing scary about the ribbons. So, but, and then I have the army kind of ribbons too, that I want to pass out and just make it a fun time, right? And I'm probably going to go live, but I don't know how I can I mean, it's going to be like a true full-on podcast if I'm driving. Because I could probably set everything up in the car, but I'm not going to be showing myself or the road, because I don't want people to know where I am, really. But then also, I think it'd be cool to talk with you guys for a little bit, and then, maybe I could just listen to a podcast or something like that, during some of my drives. So, yes, I know. Diana Smith, poor Riley. I know, right? I got some really comfortable shoes, guys. The Hey Dudes, like, I'll show you guys. They're really really cute. I'll show you guys when they're on camera. Eaton Pats, thank you, thank you. 6 years old, New York City, first milk carton missing kid. Thanks, C. Taylor. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and I mean, and some people are like totally like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I mean, to be honest with you, not everybody understands it. Some people say, well, why would you upset yourself like that, right? Like, why are you into watching stuff like that? And I don't know. It's just always been something weird that I've always found interesting, right? Just how somebody could just vanish without a trace. It's a mystery, right? And you want to find out because that's not, that when you see something vanish without a trace, for sure, in your heart of hearts and all of our brains, we know that's complete and total bullshit, and that's the one impossibility, because we don't just vanish. It's very difficult to, well, first of all, it's very difficult to get away with Moida, but it's also very difficult to hide someone, right? With us, not with us. So, with that being said, I'm hoping they search for Devlin soon to Carrie Jackson. And I think that's why the United Cajun Navy sent out resources that were closer, to help the families that, there and everything like that. So I'm hoping that that's it. If not, hey, we have a lot of resources that I got sent over to Jessica, but I know that they were signing paperwork and stuff like that. And I don't know fully how that works. I'm just happy to help, and I'm glad to have you, Carrie Jackson, and just everybody that's been a help towards finding Devlin. Chu Chi has been so great. Kiki 2025 True Crime, we've covered Devlin. Jen, Astrology for Mystics, has covered Devlin. Mr. and Mrs. E have. Beautiful Crime Time Buzz has, and so it's fantastic. It's fantastic. He needs more coverage though, so we're gonna work on that. Thanks, Mom, and yeah, and it'll be a good time. Oh, put some air tags on your belongings. Oh, that's a good idea, C. Taylor. Yeah, yes. Well, and my daughter tracks me, and I track her, even though we're both adults, because it's like, can I please track you? She's like, yeah, but I want to track you too when I moved to Florida, because I mean, obviously I'd never been away from her like that. States away like this. I mean, oh my gosh. So it's different. Um, so, hey, Women's Warrior, good to see you. But yeah, I was gracious. It's funny when kids get older, the things they're like, because I don't think she took too kindly to that when I had her on the Life 360 when she was a teenager. She didn't always want to be forthright, but now she's like, yeah, you can track me, Mom. I don't care. One time I was like, are you at the casino? I thought it was funny. And then I really felt old, you guys, because I was like, my child is at the casino. Like, my child is actually old enough to be there. So I am too, Kiki. I am too. And that's the thing too. You just don't you just don't know what you can accomplish until we know about it. Because we just, I mean, I had no idea that Devlin's case was even this complex with everybody involved in it and everything. And another thing too, I know that um, his little girlfriend Marie had reached out here. Marie, please have your mom, because I can't have you in the chat. This is an adult show and you're only 16. So if you will, please have your mother reach out to me if it's okay for us to talk to you, or even better, if your mom can reach out to Jessica in order to find out more information on trying to find out where Devlin is, because we are looking for him, sweetheart, but we cannot have you on the show because this is an adult show, and you have to be a certain age to watch my show. So and I know that you're not a child, you're not a little child, but you are under the age. So because I did not know that when I saw her message in Little Redo's live, when we did a live, and check us out. It was Little Redo, Sprinkle Donut, and myself. We had Jessica on the panel, and we were talking. And then at the end, when I went to go fire up my live about Sebastian, there was a message that said, I'm Devlin's girlfriend. And so I was like, oh my. And so I thought she was 18 or 19. Well, she's 16. And so that was the young lady that once he became too old for her, they weren't allowed to talk with each other. And I think that that's something that a good mother and a good parent does. And so I just want to make sure that we're being respectful of her mother, to her mother, excuse me. And also, I don't want her to be on a platform with older people that she's not particularly allowed to be on. So definitely have your mom reach out. Yeah, Kiki, because and I do feel sorry for her. I can't imagine even his little friend that I spoke to. Now she's afraid to come forward, guys. I would have her on the show because she's old enough, but with everything going on with the Tates, the best way that I could describe Chris and Katie to Jessica was they're the Tates with money. That's the only difference. In my opinion, there's guilty knowledge. Devlin was last with them. There was there was a guardianship situation. The last time Devlin used his card, right, his EBT or food card, they call it a bridge card there, was at Carl's Supermarket at 8:21 a.m. Jessica confirmed to me that they did, in fact, that law enforcement is absolutely being truthful. I just want to throw that out there, guys, because we know that they can lie to us, and I'm not trying to get into that here, but they can, right? So there was a lot of talk and a lot of speculation that perhaps, since no one has seen this footage, that it didn't exist, right? Because we do think like that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think we need to always kind of keep that in the back of our mind, but I also think when we do have that confirmation, it's important to share it. So, Jessica assured me that law enforcement did see Devlin on camera at Carl's Supermarket, and he used his bridge card last 8:21 a.m. Lako Laundry's not far from there, and he supposedly walked down there to charge his phone. That's when he made the call to Sandra. Matt answered. Matt said he stayed on the phone with Devlin for 30 minutes. And according to Tamra, Marie was tracking Devlin on Life 360, and there was a ping there, 9:30 a.m. over near the Family Dollar, which is on French Fry Lane, down over by a little bit closer to Jordan Lake. But then his cell phone last pinged. Now, again, I couldn't get confirmation from Detective Castle on this because of the, well, mostly because it's an open and ongoing investigation, and that's, we hear that, open and ongoing investigation, but it's true, and I did confirm that with her, so it's not that I didn't. um but with that being said, um she definitely took in the information that I had given her, on the phone call, and also just assured me that they have not forgotten about Devlin, and they're working, um, on finding him. So, but I think organizations like, Backwood Rescue and all of those organizations that are willing to come out and help are very valuable. And then I also had someone tell me today that to contact, the fishermen, because they have sonar and things like that on their boats, and see if they wouldn't mind donating some time to go out there and look as well. So there's so many things that we can do, again, when we all put our heads together for a common goal, trying to figure out, what comes next, and what we can do to actually help. Because there's so much that we can do. There's so much. And I just think that people, forget about that. I know I do, because I do, get passionate, and I'm like, wait a minute, if there's something that's, if there's an injustice, I don't want this. We can't have this. What are we gonna do? We got to find a solution. And that's a good thing, but we also have to make sure that we're operating with the correct information. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. We don't want to do that, and we don't have time to waste, because time is of the essence in these cases. We have to figure out what's happened, or we end up in a situation like with Chris and Katie, where everybody's pissed because they're quite obviously, they quite obviously have guilty knowledge at the very least, right? I'm not saying that it was like, oh, they're horrible, they did this. Not necessarily. Like I said, we have to look at it through, from every angle, and work through the theory. Because if we just have a theory in our head, like, our friend Carl Ferguson over there, and we just want to, spit things out. Oh, well, you do know that they got married on that same exact day. Okay, big deal. What does that mean, though? And I get it. I agree with, there's not a lot of, coincidences, right? In true crime, typically it's a connection more than a coincidence. But it's not always the case. And either way, that makes Katie look worse than Seth, in my opinion, because it shows that there was some vindictiveness, a vendetta. Could speak to the motive, although I think the motive is, Chris's ultimatum. I do. And I think that he was, in true narcissistic fashion, withholding, love, affection, and everything with Katie, and she didn't want to lose Chris. I mean, she didn't want to leave. She didn't want it to just be her and Sebastian in an apartment safe from Chris. That wasn't her, in my opinion. That's not what she wants. She's still with him, right? Even after everything that he's done to her. He has single-handedly, it's not my fault, not my fault, made Katie look like an idiot, in my opinion. Single-handedly. He goes on these podcasts. He's talked bad about Sebastian. He's talked about how he's beaten Sebastian with the belt. Oh, but I didn't beat him with the belt. And no, he didn't beat my son with the belt. Bullshit. How many times did it happen? Oh, well, it was only once. Nope. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. Right? Nancy Grace, my best Nancy. Thanks, Little Red. And, it's just like, hey, Joe, there's Joe. So, I mean, hey, Ann Brock, good to see you. Mom, and did I make, either I made Mom and laugh or someone did. Mom, and I'm glad you're here. That's funny, though. No, I mean, and, I think they should have Adam Forever 21. And Adam Forever 21 says, did they deep dive forensics to this so-called family members, all of them? I would think so. I think that's the first thing to do. Yeah, whack, I got him. Yeah, whack, kind of got him. And he goes to school and he tells his teacher. I swear, I could do a Broadway play of Chris and Katie's interview with Smiley. It would be a spectacle. Um, call it Proudfoot Theater. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Tranquility Soul. But it's interesting, especially when you watch back, you know, it's like, I mean, Smiley had played the Katie interview at the moment, you know, where she's like, he would have turned, you know, that interview. And, you know, it's very obvious. Katie is a horrible liar. Horrible, horrible, horrible liar. But she has a lot of support. And so I think that they have to get it right. You know? Yeah, absolutely, Little Red. Absolutely. I love collaborating. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that I think we all need to do more of on the advocacy side and on the true crime, like not crama. No. I don't want to be, I honestly, I want out of that algorithm, right? It's all about the algorithm. I don't want to be in that algorithm anymore. So I think that's the best way to get out of it is to, start broadening our horizons with different cases and things like that. But I also want to pull Sebastian out of that algorithm with me. Like pull him out for dear life and not let anybody near him because he doesn't deserve to be in that. That's the last place that Sebastian deserves to be. So, and I know a lot of you feel that way. Little Red, I know you feel that way. Jen, I know Jen's sleeping. Jen feels that way. We're tired of it, guys. We're not happy with the status quo. We're not happy with it. But does that mean that we go off and act out of our character and out of how we were raised and out of our, just our own morals, as adults? No. So, and Mom, you're the same. Mom and I talk about the algorithm all the time. Like, how the hell do we get out of this freaking algorithm? How the heck? Exactly. Wake up, Jen. Where are you? Hey, JH. Aloha. Yeah. Wake up, Jen. Jen, where are you at? We need you. But Brenda, and he doesn't deserve, we just got to do better moving forward. And like I said, there's more that I want to share with you guys. I just wanted to get that much out there just because I just want, all of you guys, all of my viewers, everybody that's here with me and everybody that's, been here, signed the petition for Crystal McCrory Jones, right? Like all the petitions that Jana had going. She's one of the most kick-ass advocates that I've ever seen in my life. Jana, Jana Laudiger. And I'm sorry, I didn't do the Lewinsky, and I always say it wrong, and I'm so sorry. But Jana's the best. You want to see how to advocate, go to Jana's page, right? Justice for Crystal McCrory Jones. And I mean, she is amazing with it. And she works very, very hard. She's a self-published author. There are so many things that we can do with our time, guys. I mean, so much that we can do. But I want to pull Sebastian out of that algorithm and get out of it, for dear life. Good night, Kiki. Thank you for being here. I know I need to do the same thing. I need to get my butt going. Thanks, Claudia. Thank you. I do. I need to. Yeah, he has, Holly. He has. You know, and I mean, if I don't know. I've said it in poor Nate, like he did anything wrong, you know. I'm like, if you ever talked to Mike, you know, said anything like that about my kid, you'd be gone. And he's like, what did I do? Why are you saying that to me? I'm like, sorry, I'm a little emotional or whatever, or I'm a little angry. But you know, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I said, the public pressure is a good thing. Um, the little birdie said to me, little Miss Sharon, that the whole pig fest thing was blown way out of proportion, way out of proportion. And I'm going to, you know, go over that with you guys. I don't want to say too much now. I just want you guys to know, so you're not like, you know, going maybe into another chat where people are getting really riled up about it. Because it's you guys aren't getting the full story. You're not getting the full story. And of course you're like, yeah, well, you're not giving us the full story either. Which I'm not, but it's only because of what's happened before, right? And when we know better, we can do better. And we know that there's just far too many people that are very, very interested in what we're doing, and let them be interested. They don't get to know yet. So with that being said, I will say that I have very, very good news to share with you guys. I just want you guys to know exactly. They're one of them. But I mean, even, you know, I mean, these people have like all of these like different beefs and like to the extent of like lawsuits, and they're like, oh, let me go see what this creator's doing. Oh, look, they're going to do a meet and greet. Maybe just keep yourself out of it. Like, I don't care if those other people are doing a meet and greet. Let them do it. If they didn't invite me, I'm not worried about it. I'm too busy anyway. I'm too busy. If somebody even asked me, hey, Lady Freedom, what are you doing this day when you're at, I don't have any time slots open, guys. I have a notebook somewhere or I have an agenda that I'm going to follow, because if I don't, then I'm not going to get everything done that I want to get done before I leave there. This trip is not just to go over there, and I promise you, Taylor, it's something very, 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 very good. I promise it's good. I just don't want to get ahead of myself, but I just want you guys to know that, like, people do care about Sebastian in Hendersonville. They do. I know it doesn't always seem that way, and I know that we get very like, I'm the same way. Like last night I was like, how could they let, you know, Cluminati with her hood and this, all this, you know, and I was like getting more, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting way too riled up. I'm getting way too riled up. I need to calm down. But, you know, I was mad, and I'm like, I can't believe that they would want her representing the pig fest and not Sebastian, right? He's up on the screen. I couldn't get it, but see, it's because I didn't have all of the information. So now that I do, I'm like, oh, thank God, right? And I just want you guys to just breathe a sigh of relief and just know that these people, that's what they live on. They feed off of it. They love that negativity. If they can get them some, oh, buddy, they can't wait. They're like, it's like the, you know, a big heaping bowl of pig for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they love it. And then you have other people that actually do good things in life, right? Like they go out there, they're doing things for children. They are trying to see how they can raise money for this, or what can we do for that? Or, hey, there's a need over here and it needs to be met. So how can we make it happen? There's people that do that in this world. And then there's people that like to sit back on their big old butt and watch it get bigger and act like a jerk. That's who we're dealing with. You know, and it's really up to us if we let them run our emotional throttle or not. It's up to us, you know, but it is tough. I mean, you know, I went over and listened to a little bit of it, and I'm like, Okay. You know? I mean, and you got to remember too, like when you see an avatar, you know, the little bubbles that we got, like Holly's got the cute little dog. Hey Don B, good to see you. Um so yeah, I mean, hey Women's Warrior. Like she's got the cute little dog on there, you know? Or Maman's got a good one too, you know? But like these people are not putting themselves on there, right? Like some of these people are like, you know, I'm I'm not trying to be rude. Look, we're all getting older. Tomorrow I'm going to be older than I am right now, right? It's not about that. It's about hating who you are inside and out. You can't stand to see yourself on an avatar. And so you pick a picture of a girl that's 20 years old. And then you walk around the YouTube streets being as mean and hateful and awful as you can. But really, you're just like an old crotchety crab of a soul. And you're just an old hag. And you can't even stand to put yourself on your avatar. Right? You can't stand to put your real self out there. And then some of yous aren't even old. You're just ugly and crotchety and crabby. Right? Sorry. Do better. You don't want somebody, if you're offended by that comment, that's you. You know? What's your idea, Joe? I'm afraid to ask. Yeah. Yeah, and today I saw one of the hags and I go, that's that one that's that one lady that's got an avatar of a 20-year-old chick, and I'm like, "Oh, Lord." You know? So if you hate yourself on the outside and you hate yourself on the inside, then I don't know, take a walk, start a treadmill up, fire up, an elliptical, right? If you don't like yourself that much, right? I mean, as you get older, we're all going to look good when we're young, and as we get older, it's just a part of life, right? If you don't like it, go get a facelift and then you can look like this. Go get your lips plumped, and look like this. Do it. Do whatever you got to do to feel better about yourself. But quit coming on the internet and being so damn ignorant to each other, because it's gross. And it doesn't do anything but ruin your day and ruin whoever else's day that you come across. And that's the kind of legacy and reputation you want to leave behind for your children? Okay. But I'm not going to associate with you. I'm just not. And how about this? If you don't like the inside, why don't you do something to make yourself feel better on the inside, right? Like maybe doing something kind for someone else, making someone else smile, right? Make some cookies and bring them to your neighbor. Start there. But no, you would rather be on the internet 24/7 trying to hurt somebody. That's ugly. As a matter of fact, it's fucking ugly, which I call fugly. Right? Get a facelift. Mama Bear, my best impression of a facelift. But I mean, Mom I'm telling you guys, one of these, I live in Florida, okay? I get to watch ladies that are 30 years older than me, and they look way better than me, okay? So I'm like, damn, I'm like, I need to step it up, But that doesn't mean Krabby's YouTuber. That doesn't mean that you're mean to other people. Work on yourself. Fix yourself. Take a day off the internet. Figure out what you can do to make yourself feel better. Do something to make yourself like yourself. And then put an avatar of yourself up there and own it and say, this is my beautiful self. I'm 75. This is my beautiful self. I'm 60. This is my beautiful self. I'm 40. You know, I'm not perfect, but I still get up here and show you guys every now and then. It's been rough lately. You know, usually I'm like with my hair in a bun and, you know, I mean, you know, 45 minutes and Little Red, your endorphins are like, you know, you get those endorphins up, right? And your mood changes. It's amazing how much exercise. And I know it's tough to like make yourself do it. But when you do exercise every day, even if it's taking a walk after dinner with your husband, go, you know, walk with him. Walk the dog, whatever. Take him for an extra long walk. Take him to the park, you know? I feel better too, Little Red. And I wasn't, you know, exercising at all for a long time. Like for a while I stopped exercising and it didn't, it's like, it makes you feel better. Once you get back into the groove of it and stuff, you're like, oh wow, I feel better now, you know, like even if it's just a little bit of a walk, but we can get too involved in YouTube. I do it all the time. There'll be days where I'm like, gosh, I need to go outside. You know, I should go outside when it's not dark outside, you know, and get a tan going and stuff. Thanks, Kiki. But yeah, make yourself feel good on the inside. Make yourself feel good on the outside. Own who you are. Don't hide behind a 20-year-old's avatar or some virtual reality version of yourself. Be yourself, love yourself. You know? They don't. They're the Faye, I agree. They think they're perfect and they'll never admit their mistakes. Yeah, they're the never wrongs, you know. Oh, I'm never wrong. And then Clue saying that she's got all this money, but you have no money to fix your teeth. Come on. That is so, like, to the degree where people are watching you and your significant other and can tell. It's like, oh, when you have 6 figures in your bank account and you give away $20 and there's still, what does that even mean, first of all? I don't give a shit about having that much money in my bank account. Because it's still not going to make you happy. You're still going to hate yourself, obviously. And if you have a 6-figure bank account then, and you still hate yourself that much, then that just proves my point. So. Aw. That's so sweet of Smiley. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. I do love Smiley. Smiley's awesome. Yeah, it's like once you fall out of the groove of it, but then like once you realize, it's like I always feel better when I do get a little bit of exercise. Not that you have to do a bunch, but I mean, you know, thanks, Deborah. Yeah. It just helps. It helps with your overall mental, like if you do have like you know, some kind of aggression or you're upset for the day or something upset you. Life is hard, you know, but you release a little bit of that, it's a good thing. Little Miss Sharon says 58 and I ride my horse and do yoga and walk with my daughter and her dog. Aw, thank you, Little Miss Sharon. And that's so important too. Yoga that's a really good one. I don't do yoga like I used to, and I should. And that is a big one. KJ Max says, if you struggle to make yourself exercise, you can instruct AI to act as a master coach. Really? And it will help motivate and sustain that motivation. Cool. I'm up to 10K now. Hey, that's awesome. Going in ice water after do it. Oh my goodness. Are you talking about like those ice baths? Oh my God. KJ Mac, that's cool. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, thank you, Tranquility Soul. And I get not everybody can do it, but that is very cool. KJ Mac. And I would be the person that would be yelling at the virtual instructor, like, don't tell me when next. No, I'm just kidding. I will, I'll do it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't argue with your virtual coach. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And running the lawnmower, and it's good, like getting out there, like smelling the grass, Mama Bear. Unless you're allergic to grass, then it could be like bad advice, Lady Freedom. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. An iFit. I always wanted to try the Pelotons. We had those at the one hotel, the Hilton, but I never went down there and used it. Or the toilets. Clean the house. Clean the house is a good. It's a good. It's a, wax on, wax off. Clean the house. Holly. Or hire a maid to clean the bathroom. Brenda. I don't ever think that's been cleaned. I would put money on it. The Grinches need to stop complaining and start Yes, exactly. Complimenting. Yes, it will change your soul. I think so too, Don B. That's very well said. And and the thing is like not everybody's out to get everybody else. I mean, it can feel that way sometimes, but it's not that way. Most people are decent. Now, in true crime, it's hard because we've seen some of the greatest monsters of all time. I mean, Travis Decker is one that just pops into my head right off the bat. Baby Emmanuel's mother and father, right? Both of them. Jake Haro is disgusting. His mother, bleh, I mean, no. Those two. And I'm just glad they were dumb, because in my opinion, Katie and Chris are way more manipulative than those two, right? And there wasn't even a language barrier, because I was thinking maybe there was a language barrier. I don't think so. I don't think Rebecca Haro, I think she speaks and understands English perfectly, in my opinion, because I was thinking maybe there is a language barrier. I don't think there is. I think she knows. I think Ola was just, part of the concocted story, very unhealthy inside and out, because I don't look at people. That's another thing too. I mean, you can't judge a book by their cover. You just can't. You can't just look at somebody. Unfortunately, people don't look like a monster, and they are. I mean, it's not that obvious. I wish it was. Sometimes the most good looking people are the craziest ones, or the most toxic, and it's you can't judge it by that. But yeah, when you see that ugly stuff inside and out, and just out to make everybody's life miserable, and loves doing it and laughs about it and hits them, I'm like, whoa, Scarface. And I'm not talking about Scarface from, oh no, I'm sorry, the one in All Dogs Go to Heaven was named Carface, and he was the guy that smoked the cigar. The mean dog, but they just love to piss everybody off. Retha Bell, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Aw, thank you, Retha Bell. Thank you. And you guys are amazing. Like, I appreciate you guys being here all the time. There you go, Women's Warrior. That's perfect. I have a playlist and I dance like no one is watching and sing my hair into my hairbrush, embarrassing when the window cleaner catches you. That's so awesome. But Women's Warrior, that's like, it's just expelling like energy, but it's in a good way, right? Instead of just, spewing out all the hate you can handle, so, but guys, definitely stay tuned. Oh, Detroit, did we hit 100? All right. Hey, let's have a party. Hey, Cassie Roku. Love works both ways. Love yourself and others. Some cannot. That is so true, Cassie Roku. And thank you for that. Yeah, it's true. And guys, we all have something, right? It's just something that we're insecure about, something that we don't like about ourselves. But the fact of the matter is, we are who we are. We're made the way that we are because that's how God wants us to be. That's awesome, Claudia. I don't usually wear makeup. Like, if I go to Walmart, I'm gonna put makeup on unless I already have it on. I like the Color Stay lipstick though, because I can like eat with this stuff, it won't come off. Just drink from my straw. except for like it does kind of get on my straw. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of gross, but like on the top it does. But you know, um, but yeah, I don't always. I just like to look nice for you guys, you know, because it's more professional, you know. Because I know it's just gonna be like I might say something really good one day, and then they're like, "Can we use your clip?" And it's like my hair is up on my, you know, in a bun and like one eye's crusted shut, you know. I'm just kidding. Sweet dreams, Mommin. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Detroit. Great, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to play you guys the party when we sign off, and I'm going to go ahead and make these ribbons, but they're going to be like that. I'm going to make it bigger. This was just my first one. But they're just going to be like the ribbons. So sorry, I was going to make them on the show, but I can't I'm a horrible multitasker. So, but yeah, I believe they go like that, and then they're just pinned, and then you pin them to your shirt like this or this somehow. No, somehow I think it's that way. But either way, that's what I'm gonna do. But they're gonna be bigger. So I will keep you all posted, and like I said, I will be going live. I'm trying to do pretty much, you know, not the whole time I'm there, of course. There's gonna be some times where I'm not. You know, because we're going to be doing other things too. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you very much. And thanks, Krista, for being here too. Thanks, Claudia. You guys are amazing as well. Yeah, stay tuned. Hey, Debbie says what? I'm making them for the Pig Fest to hand out for Sebastian. So I have these green ones, and then I have like an army color that's like thicker than this because I figured, you know, I'll make some bigger ones. So, and there's quite a bit of ribbon here. This is like I think 9 feet of ribbon or something. I don't know. I'm not good with the dimensions on stuff. I'm a horrible mather. But yeah, so I'm going to do that with these, and then I showed it on the other, and they're in my bag over there. But I have double-sided tape, and what you do, and I have a glue gun. This is what I was going to do on the show, but you just you know, take it and put like one dot of glue, you know, on here, and so it's secure. But what I thought I would do, because I have you know, glue sticks and stuff, but I thought I could take like the double-sided tape, because I need I'm gonna put up flyers as well, like if I stop. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to stop for gas, but I'm gonna see if I could do the double-sided tape there instead. See if it works. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna see how they work. But yes, I'm gonna do these, and then I know we have flyers. I'm gonna print some more flyers out tonight, and then I'll go live tomorrow night and do like a talk-in drive. But again, I won't show like where I'm at or give you guys like an estimated time. I know that Pig Fest starts Thursday, and if you're going to the steak dinner, it's the gates open at 5, and then 5:30 is the steak dinner, and then they have the paint the parking lot event, which that's the one that I'm the most interested in. And we'll do something fun too, like, you know, I need to see if I could find like a very basic dragon, and maybe I could do like a dragon and say, you know, Sebastian, because I mean, obviously I don't do portraits. I mean, some people are really great at portraits. So but I think that you know, we might do like a dragon or something. I don't know. You guys can give me some ideas. But I'm interested in I think that would be fun too. And then also, like I said, guys, while I'm down there, I'm going to be filming different locations. I don't want to tell you guys everything. So it is going to be kind of like a surprise, but I'm definitely planning things for the whole entire time I'm there. Oh, Django's coughing. You okay, buddy? He's coughing back there. But yeah, I'm gonna be planning for, things to be done the whole time that I'm there. So whatever um whatever kind of how everything kind of works out, but I do have things that I wanted to go look at. Like there's a certain road over um by Sebastian subdivision that I wanted to look at too. Honeysuckle. There's also um well, I'll just say one thing that I do want to take a look at for myself is if in fact the 3 a.m. lights could have been a car, right? Um, because that's one of the theories that I have, but it's not the only theory that I have. And I've kind of worked a couple of theories through, and I like, thank you, Little Miss Sharon, for dropping Don B's link too. Thank you. And also thank you for the super sticker. Thank you very, very much. So, I want to work on that. Poor Django. I'm going to have to go plug his nose up because he's coughing. I don't know why he's coughing. He's getting nervous too. He's not used to me like leaving. I don't think he's going to like it very much. So by the cemetery. Yes, Kiki. Exactly. Exactly. And I kind of want to look on that Honeysuckle Street. Like I've been on a car ride where somebody was showing Honeysuckle and kind of how it all ties in and everything, but I also want to show you guys and hopefully get some really good footage too. So and I also found my battery pack, so that's good too, because I'm gonna need this baby while I'm there, because StreamYard likes to suck the battery like completely dry fast, and so that's another thing that I've been trying to prepare for. So but it's coming right along. Thanks, Little Miss Sharon. And so yeah, I want to look at the camera placements and stuff too. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be like peeping in anybody's window or anything, but just around, I'm going to really try to be aware of things. And then also trying to film things. It's hard on the laptops, like it is. I mean, if I unplug my laptop right now, I could probably sit on here for maybe 45 minutes and it'll just like take all the battery. So and then if you guys do want to help with the trip, I still have the Venmo and Cash App. I think well, it's in the description of my Pigfest video too. So if you guys want to do that, feel free to do that. I almost forgot, we are also going to do the pick a number for a prize that I said that we were going to do. And I believe that's going to happen on Friday, but I'm not sure what time. So we're going to, yeah, I don't know why he does that. I know, KJ, it's like, poor guy. But if I plug his one side of his nose, it does help. But he was coughing. I thought I heard him coughing a little bit. I actually thought that was Nate snoring. I was like, maybe he's snoring. I don't know. I hear something back there. But then I just heard him doing it really loud, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely snoring. The backward sneeze. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I always say it's a cough. I don't know why I call it a cough. But it is, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Little Red. Yeah. Good night, Claudia. Thank you guys so much for being here. But yeah, like I said, I know Little Red, he doesn't do it all the time. It's so weird. Like he does it once in a great while. Yeah, and it's usually around this time of year. I wonder, thanks, Debbie says what, I wonder if it is allergies. Um, thank you, Holly S. There we go. Sorry, I'm terrible with dropping the links. But yeah, I would greatly appreciate help with, and like I said, guys, we're still gonna do it. It's gonna be fun. Um, aw, aw, Chia, that's a cute name, Little Red. Poor little Chia. I know. I mean, and it's weird because he's a tough. I'll tell you, Django is a tough guy. But yeah, he usually does it this time of the year. So I'm hoping it's just like an allergies or an allergy or something. Um, really? No chicken? That's so weird that you said that because we did get a rotisserie chicken today and I had like, I mean, a little bit, and I gave him what I did, like a little bit that I didn't eat. I just was like, here's a little bit. But I've been telling Nate, don't be giving him people food lately because, oh, your Frenchies do. They're so cute. They are so cute. I love your little Frenchies. I like watching your videos with your Frenchies in it. I'm like, oh, kisses. Um, he's a beagle. He's a beagle bow. He's just a little old beagle. He's tough though. Okay. He's not, he could eat anything. Like it's not like my little pug that I had. Like my pug, I had to be super careful with what I fed him because like he would get sick, and I mean he was really, really, really tough. Like I used to just boil him chicken and do rice and kind of we do sweet potatoes. Django does like thank you, Detroit. Let me see because I got my other phone. Oh, thank you, Brenda Calvert. Let's see. Did you send it? Oh, yes, because I tried to move all my apps to my burner phone. My burner. This is my burner phone, guys. And I used to have like a decal on the back. It's not dirty. It's just it was sticky for a while, but it's not sticky anymore. Let me see, because I do have another account here. Oh, yes, I did, Detroit. Thank you. Aw, thank you so much. See, I have to switch to the other one. Okay, good. I can send you. I don't know why Venmo doesn't let me send a heart. Like if yeah. Because like I can do a little heart on Cash App, but it doesn't let me do it on Venmo for some reason. And I don't know why. But thank you, Detroit. That is really sweet. Thank you so much. Everything helps, guys, just because. Oh goodness. Well, in the rental car, I got a good deal. They're actually running a sale. But then today I went to check in and I called them and I said, what's the total going to be? Because of course, I'm just trying to figure everything out. And they were like, okay, there's a $300 deposit, and I'm like, of course. So I was like, that's fine, we'll do that. And but I'm excited. I wanted to get something that was good on gas, and I calculated the gas, and I think I did pretty good. And it's not a crazy long it's not crazy far away. Like if I was kind of like maybe towards like more like I guess east in Florida, it would be worse, but since I'm kind of closer to Tennessee and everything, it's not going to be bad. And I think it'll be fun. Oh, good. I saw an attempt too, and then it said cancel. So, thanks, Detroit. Yay, that is awesome. And I'm super excited, guys. I think it's going to be very positive. And like I said, I let myself get negative. I usually don't like to. I usually don't. But I think it's easy to do. That was one that Charlie did like. Little Red was it was a salmon. it was a salmon dog food, and it was just a little round pellet things, and he really liked it, and he never got sick on it or anything. Like, I had to be very careful with what I gave him. Yeah, I miss my Charlie. But Beagle, he's different. He can, I mean, he is very like tough, and usually doesn't get sick off of stuff. That's why, but yeah, around this time of year he does do the backward sneezing thing. So, and I never knew what that was until you guys were telling me the one night when you guys could hear him doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I thought I thought he was coughing. So, poor little guy. But I love you guys so much. Again, I'll keep you guys posted, but just know things are, I think, gonna work out really, really well. I have a very good feeling, and I'll be sharing as we go, and documenting the trip. And if I see anything interesting or fun on the way, I'll definitely let you guys know. And like I said, I hope you guys will keep me company tomorrow night while I'm driving. And of course, I'm going to do it as safe as I can. So I might put like a fun background up for you guys to look at, but it'll probably just be my avatar, like, you know, and that sort of thing. So, Chewy likes salmon too, Miss Ann. Aw, Chewy's just such a little cutie pie. He's a celebrity. He was in one of my videos. Oh, and Miss Ann, I did find my Grateful Dead socks. So I depends on which ones I wear. You will see those with my leggings. Because I don't know how it's gonna be, but hopefully it'll be nice. You know. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Little Red. I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it, like I said, you guys are gonna like my shoes too. I got a really cute pair. I couldn't believe the Hey Dudes, like, the box, like if you pick it up, you can't even really tell there's shoes in it. It's so weird. Those Hey Dudes are like super duper lightweight. I don't know what they're made of even. Like, it's weird. But they look really comfortable. I haven't broke them in, so hopefully, ugh. But you know, well, great. I will be here for sure. Be safe and fun. Thank you so much, Tranquility too. Thank you. Yeah, I think it'll be cold at night for sure. Yes, absolutely, C. Taylor. Yeah. I just want to make sure. I know I've never like driven and well, I'll tell you, when I did pass out the flyers in Missouri, was I put you guys in front and let you guys watch around and stuff like that. And I talked. So, but that's the closest. I've never done a live, so I won't be able to like see the chat and stuff probably because I don't want to get distracted. It's sweater weather. It's definitely sweater weather. And I found my other hoodie too. My Pride Republic Pride Band's mom shirt too, because I have a hoodie. Because I have a lot of hoodies from when I would watch Olivia play in the band on Friday, for football games and stuff like that. So yeah, well, I only had ballerina flats, and my other old Skechers were kind of old, and I was like, I need to get some new ones. But yeah, yeah, some boots would be good, like the rain boots, in case. But aw, oh my goodness, that's good. Castor oil yeah, that works good, huh? For that. Well, great, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. And like I said, I will show you guys. I'll take pictures and maybe make like a quick video. I need to push some videos out. I just haven't had time. I wanted to wash like my bedding and stuff that I'm taking. I'm really weird like with the like with what pillow I use and stuff because of my back. I'm like, I need a body pillow and so here I am. Washed my quilt and everything. So I'm excited. But I do think it's going to be something that's positive. Don't let the negativity get us down. And let's just keep on pushing for Sebastian, for Devlin, for Summer, all of these missing kids, and all of these true crime cases. A lot to always go through and over, and it's important, so. Thank you. Thank you. I know, Detroit. I know. Exactly. And I just want us to be able to hold our heads up high and be like, we're doing the right thing. And that's all that matters, and hopefully it will catch on, Thanks, JH. Hopefully it'll catch on like wildfire and people will see an example and want to do the same thing, monkey see, monkey do. Let's do some positive, you know. I know I don't either. I don't either, Little Red. I have to bring my own stuff. It's so funny. Like people probably see me like, why is she bringing all of her, like the hotel has pillows or, I was like, yeah, but not like mine. I'm very particular. So I got my pillow, the Mike Lindell my pillow. Um the best pillow ever. I bought like a bunch of them. Um one for my daughter, one for Nate, even though he likes different kind of pillow, but the body pillow, and then I got the dog bed. So even Django and, Charlie had it too. So, but yeah, I know. Cause and they always like give that one, like the top one. I don't know. Cause I've worked at hotels and stuff. So yeah. And I've stayed a lot of them too. So I'm always like, oh, but thank you. Thank you, little Miss Sharon. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. And thank you. Thank you for the green hearts as well. And like I said, I will see you guys all tomorrow night, but it'll probably just be, while I'm driving. So thank you.